every night that I got there around 6 p.m. when things were starting, she was just coming home from work. And every morning when I was getting ready to leave,
That's it.
she was
That's
getting
a black
ready
mama for
to
you.
go to work. And it was like I saw her at the beginning of my day and at the end of the day for about a week straight. By the end of it, I felt like we were best friends.
You had a black mama for a week. Took care of you, boy.
They were
for
looking
real.
out for me too. I
Yeah.
mean, the community really.
It
like,
did. They had the peacemakers over there
Yeah.
on the east side, and it was a really big learning curve and experience because it was cold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I'm telling you, I learned that if you are on set, especially overnight or outside, you should always dress way more than you need
Yeah.
to. Like,
That's when we learned it.
look like the abominable snowman. Like,
We had to
no matter
bring our
how
own,
crazy.
Yep,
Look,
we had to bring our own
it's about
backpack with
keep
snacks,
staying warm. You know, it's a
keeping
survival
your feet
mode.
warm, and
So this is a real pay your dues moment here.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
what you're describing does not sound desirable, but the lesson is that this was a core group of people that really formed a community out of this, right?
Correct. And like I said, this was kind of the epitome of like, oh, where does it begin? Especially when, you need to learn what does a production assistant do, and we're safety. We're locking up an area for safety for pedestrians and regular people who live in this area to make sure that when these stunts and the explosions go off, that they're not getting hurt.
Yeah.
And even though we had one night, we hear ring over our walkies, shots fired,
Oh, yeah.
because there was someone down the block from us.
Didn't have nothing to do with the production. Nothing to do with the production, no.
City living. for
Gang,
you.
gang.
Yep.
But one thing to say back to the community aspect, I think there was a real camaraderie too amongst the group of us
Yeah.
who were together.
We
and
grew
like
a lot.
one thing I'll say, like I remember, we had such far points of where we were stationed, but oftentimes we would come and meet in the middle with the other person who was near you just to kind of check in on the other person. So like Frank Coppola, I remember I'd meet him like halfway down the block for like just these little like check-ins halfway through,
And it really taught us the importance of like using a walkie-talkie too, because we were so far from the next person that it's like, oh, you have to learn the lingo and you have to know how to communicate and communicate thoroughly. And it was really interesting. And I loved then when we opened up like the overpasses some nights so people can actually gather in and watch the stunts. And it was really a fun time.